I have a little hot plate here. That's my kitchen over there.
Nice. How are you doing your eggs? Scrambled?
No, poached in a little pan with water in it.
Okay. That's nice.
Over there I have my microwave, you see that?
Yeah,
and
okay.
the closet behind me, it's the bathroom, but there's a small closet, it's not a big closet. I have a toaster oven, which I never use, and a small refrigerator, which is...
Okay.
Yeah, that's because you basically use your dad's kitchen sometimes.
And my dad's apartment is right there, down the floor in the next... Just this wall, right behind this wall. There's the wall.
Yes.
There's plenty. See, the wall's right here.
It's on the other side.
So really, the really strange thing was that Greg and I stayed in that apartment before he lived there.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh.
We stayed there for a while, actually. And it looked totally different than when his father's living there. It seemed so big, and the furniture was all different and everything. It was
their furniture, and it was very sparse. And there was nothing, no extra stuff.
Yeah. But
how long did you stay there? Do you remember?
Probably a month.
Did we really spend that much time there? I don't know.
I think so, yeah. It was like, I don't think it was, well, I don't know, because I stayed at this other woman's house during part of the time, and I used to ride my bike over, and I'd ride back really late at night.
Wow, great!
And once I fell off the bike,
oh my God!
I stopped. Well, I was stopped, and I couldn't put my foot down because I was unfamiliar with the bike, and I had this backpack on, and when I jumped down, the backpack caught on the seat, so my foot didn't come off,
God.
and I just kind of like tipped over, and I hit this big flower bed, but I had a big black and blue mark on my hip, and that's when I got the floater in my eye, because I guess I hit my shoulder and head a little bit on the ground. And the woman, she was standing up in the window, and she goes, "Are you okay?" I thought maybe she hadn't seen me, but she must have heard something or been waiting for me to come home or something. I don't know, because she shouted down from her.
Yeah, sure.
She lives in what used to be the attic. She fixed it all up as like a suite, you know. And anyway, but that was a very strange experience. But it was kind of fun to ride the bike. And then once her boyfriend picked me up in the car, and he didn't even see me. He was looking for me, and I had to yell his name before he stopped his van because he went right by me like he didn't see me. You know, it's like, huh? He said, "Well, I was looking for you." Yeah, well. Anyway, but Greg has a bike too now. It's in the basement there.
Do you go by bicycle, Greg?
No, I'm the only one who rode it so far.
Well, I've ridden my bicycle a little bit, but not very much.
Well, anyway, I sent my exercise clothes ahead for when I'm up there. So I'm planning to do exercises. And I went to my yoga class by myself Monday. And it's going through October, but I don't know if I'll be able to attend every class. But then it's going to start in January again. It's a free yoga class. It's really nice at the library.
Good.
And I've been swimming and anyway, been doing my exercise. But I haven't lost any more weight, unfortunately. But.
Well, I think we lose weight when we're together. And I think that's part of my problem is, did you start the video yet?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll try to stay over here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That, I think just out of loneliness, I change. I'm...
Are you changing?
Being by myself, I look for external stimulation. The TV show. What TV show is on now, even though it's time to go to bed? What's interesting to watch? And, oh, well, I'm not really tired. It's only 1:30. morning, and I've still got energy. It's not really have energy, it's more that I'm awake. If I'm awake, I want to feel like I'm totally exhausted, and that's my problem, because I get to a total exhaustion, and I live like that. But with you, I wasn't, the last few weeks, I wasn't like that.
I know, you seemed like well rested, and you lost all that weight, and I think I ate more when I cooked dinners and stuff for us. But I've gone back to my kind of normal way of eating, but maybe I just have to start saying, installing my stuff again, Rosella, like installing my ability to lose weight and removing excess weight, etc. Because but I have resisted. Like last night I wanted to eat so badly after when it was time for bed, and I just said, well, I'm going to do the Rosella. I'm just going to remove it, and I'm going to go to sleep. And I'm
very proud of you.
Yeah, because that's like really enticing, and I don't know if it's not boredom. It's just my body wants it. Like.
I know how.
So is there something else? You were losing weight when you were in the anticipation of me coming and actually being there. See, I was recognizing something in being with you, and that extends me out. That I still want to eat, but I don't overeat.
Right.
If I'm overeating, there's some way I'm disconnected from reality, So I'm more that way with you, that have better habits. So it's just by myself. What do I have to install? It's not just good habits. It's the connection. It's the reality.
Absolutely.
About what I'm really about. It's easier living there in the same house with Byron and Franny.
Well, I think I lost more weight when I was worried about losing you, but I think but the funny thing is at the same time I had been working with Rosella very hard on that for weeks, and then I started exercising and stopped eating at night, and that really, I have not gained that weight back. So in other words, that was, knock on wood, a permanent weight loss, whatever I lost. And so, but now I'm faced with how to go about, getting it to go further than that.
Yeah.
And
I want you to test something now. I know it has nothing to do with this session, but test if being overweight is DNA based.
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
I do. I'm sorry.
We'll talk about that on Tuesday. We'll start working again on that.
Yes, because I think that all those things we installed but it's helped me to keep following. Well, Bart calls them the rules, but he calls them the guidelines too, which is not to eat it after 9, not to eat before bed, and get back to eating breakfast earlier, because we were eating breakfast at 11:30, which is too late. And so this morning I got up at 8:30. I just had breakfast, and then I went about my business. And I was telling Greg, I do have to learn how to get up earlier, because my sisters are early risers, and they're coming in October. And then in November, when I go to my brother's, I have to get up with the kids, which is like 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning, to get them to the school buses and etc. So I have to practice doing that, because otherwise I'll be too exhausted.
Yes, if you do it all in one,
But one of the things that fuels me, also besides thinking about you and not eating at night and not smoking and stuff like that, is that if I don't have strength to resist my addictions, then I don't know if I don't think Greg would either. Like I have to walk my own path, and keeping my agreement with myself about all the things that I've arranged for myself. Because otherwise, I'll just slip into a bad space too. It's not like I was transgressing, but I did hurt myself. So I have to be careful about that. And I'm now that you're not here, Greg, it's like kind of like I have a little less trust of you still, that you'll resist your addictions, and that just makes me want to be much better on mine, because I just don't want to do the same things again.
That's good. That if you're making it, you're not like reacting negatively. You're sort of, even whatever your thought is, it's still not eating because of that or whatever. You're not overeating.
Well, it's driving me to try harder for myself, because I want to be successful in losing weight, and I had like little puffiness under my eyes, and I would like that to disappear. And I went, I like all the clothes that I have, that I'd like them to fit and for me to look really nice. I want that. I don't really, it's fun to give that to you too, but I would like that for myself.
Sure.
And, so...
It's something you want to achieve. It's,
that's right. That's right.
It's a result you want to get.
And it was fun giving it to you, Greg. Because it was rather exciting to me to feel that way. That's the way, when I first met you, that was what really made me feel good, was that I felt really sexy and really had fun, and I dressed in a really sexy way. I bought all these clothes that were really fun to wear, like little tops, and I bleached my hair, and it was kind of blonde, but it was sort of a mousy color, and so I made highlights and everything, and I just felt really good.
I want you to test if you can feel sexy and being overweight at the same time.
Yes, and that was what was so exciting about it this time, is that I didn't care what the history was, I just felt good, and I felt turned on, and I felt pretty, and Greg was paying attention to me, and it was just really fun, and I had a great time.
Let me tell you, I think everything comes from the inside, because you feel great, okay? Also, you are overweight, but you take good care of yourself, you bleach your hair and things like that, you put on a little makeup. It's a feeling. If you feel sexy, the others perceive you as sexy.
That's right.
Because you project what you feel inside.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people remark that I glow anyway, like even though I was heavy, like my sister's friend, she said, "My God, you're beautiful." And of course I was heavier than I am now.
Sure.
And I said, "But I'm heavy." And she said, "It doesn't matter, because it's something that emanates from inside of you that's really beautiful." I was dressed up, but it was,
So,
yeah.
I would submit that it's more than a feeling. It's you have a feeling, but there's something in you, something you've cleared up, or some connection, or some state that you're in, something that how you are, that you have become.
Yes, it's how much you love yourself, how much you like yourself. Right. And then it doesn't matter if you are overweight, underweight, or whatever. It's not about long hair or short hair.
Right.
And the more connected to the universe you are, the more you feel good about yourself.
Right.
And then you will lose weight.
So is there some way that you're not that we're talking about?
I think so. It could be, there could be lots of things in the way.
That's what I'm asking about, Franny.
What?
I keep seeing your name as Byard, but so.
Yes, Byard, you look full of hair.
You have
Very
hair now.
strange.
Yeah, I got long hair. I grew my hair.
Yeah.
Is there something in the way, or in some way something that you have going on that is not that?
Well, I tested. I kept getting attacked in my karmic body, so I kept clearing that yesterday. And it was something about, I can't remember what the entrance point and all that stuff was, but I guess it was, but it felt like an old battle that I had to win or something. It was competition. And I told you about the time when I had irregular heartbeats, and then, I was in the hospital and I was dreaming about fighting off all these women around. It was like a big circle, and I was sword fighting all of them, and doing quite well. But that's, I guess, I was comparing myself, but really trying to fight for myself. I just feel uncertain. It's hard, I guess, since, that little incident with my mother, leaving me, it's been hard for me to completely trust somebody, that they're not going to leave. And even if they're there, sometimes they seem emotionally removed from me. And I just felt really uncertain. And when you were here, Greg, I felt much more certain that you were really here.
Okay.
And now that you're not here, I feel less certain. And that gets in the way. So.
Can you remove it? Test if you can remove that feeling.
Yes.
Okay, remove it.
Okay, removing uncertainty from all my bodies. Am I being attacked right now? No. So I'm not being attacked, but... okay, so do I feel certain right now? Yes.
Good. Did you discover who was attacking you?
Yeah, it was, I tested that it was women that Greg went out with. So.
Okay.
It wasn't anybody I knew.
Have you linked your higher bodies with her?
No, I didn't think of that. I just, I was accessing why, but it's just old competition, and I didn't think of linking anything with anybody. Well, actually, maybe I did that unconsciously, because I do remember at one point, it was almost like I talked about it, like it's like a dream in some way, just talking, saying, what I want and what's mine, and I want to be separate, from that whole thing. And
do you want to do it now? Can you do it now?
Link? Yeah. Okay.
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 Do you feel a difference?
Yeah, I feel more relaxed inside. I just don't want to open myself up to another. Let's see, am I opening myself to another attack now? So. Okay.
Yes?
No.
Okay. Okay. Greg, how are you leaving the separation from Franny?
How am I living, or how has it been leaving, being so? How
are you feeling?
Yeah.
How are you feeling being on your own again?
I'm feeling okay, but I'm not as focused on. I'm not as personal. I was very intimate.
Okay.
And I have so much more time here. I'm all by myself, or I'm just doing things with other people. I don't really have any intimate friends here other than my father, who, it's just unspoken.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I'm not going to talk about or deal with because he's doing it, he's connected himself just. So it's not great. It's not great.
Just if you have some dysfunction that we can work on.
Yes, I do have dysfunction. I'm just looking for what it is.
Okay.
It's like I'm unfocused.
Okay. Can you remove it?
Yeah, I just did. I removed being unfocused.
Okay.
When I'm unfocused, I tend to overeat. And so when I'm focused, I feel what's going on with me, and I have a lot of bodily focus. I'm not just physical body, but just how am I, and writing myself and being, pulling it all together.
Yes.
And when I'm focused, I'm aware of my digestion and my little extra weight in the belly, and that area starts working. In the 3.5 weeks I was in Florida, I lost almost 18 pounds.
Wow.
17.6 or so, 6 or 8 pounds.
You beat me.
I came in rather bloated, and I'm sure I haven't been on the scale yet since I've been back, but I know that I've been just sort of eating things. Now, they're good things, but I'm eating too much. I said, okay, I've already finished. I'm going to save half of these shumai, these little dumplings, for the next time. And then later on, an hour or two later, I have the rest of them.
Yeah, because they're
there to 2 days from now, I go back and say, oh, I'm going to have some more of those. I just feel like eating them. And it's not really a feeling of connectiveness, or what I really need. It's a feeling of, I'm unfocused. What do I need? What do I want? I need to turn off television. I need to have,
to do something to distract yourself.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to, in other words, I know you have a lot of different things to do, like to talk to people and arrange for things, but did you ever just think that once a day you could just take one thing, forget all the things you have to do, but prioritize them and pick one thing and just see if you can accomplish that one thing in addition to all the other things? And it might be something very small, like picking up the papers off the floor and organizing them, and that's it. That's enough,
That's big. But yes, that's what I do. One of the other things that I have to do, and that, the other things are getting more and more important to do, because
well, don't try to rearrange your room by yourself.
No.
Just do the things you need to do,
what can I What can I get rid of? What can I rearrange? What can I clear up? What can I get out of the way? What is,
By the way, lately buyers have been tweeting about feng shui and removing the clutter from our houses means removing the clutter inside ourselves.
That's right, because my desk has become, I was clearing my desk last night, I didn't finish because when I sit down there, I'm not able to concentrate very well if I'm sitting there. I do better when I'm in my room where there's less stuff, and I start thinking about stuff. And I just know that my thinking's more fuzzy when it's like that, and it doesn't mean I have to get rid of everything. It's just straighten it up, for God's sake, like not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. I tend to pile things hither and I throw this paper here, I throw that there, and they're not even squared up on the desk. There's just like a big pile of stuff, like your dad's old office. Remember how all the papers were just piled like helter-skelter in a circle around his desk, sort of. That's the way it gets.
You chunk it. You don't have to do everything in one day. You do a little piece,
Yes.
so it's doable.
Yes.
Because otherwise it scares you. You say, today I will remove all the clutter in my home. Oh my God, I will never do it, Small things, chunk it.
Yeah, even if you have, if your house is immaculate, then there's some clutter. It's still, you got to just remove the clutter. Wherever it is, you just do a little bit.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I have an idea, Greg. This sounds like my nephew. I remember he was so funny. But anyway, I have an idea. Why don't, when you talk to me, whatever it is, usually it's been during the day at various points. Why don't you tell me things, at the end of the day, tell me the things that you felt really good about accomplishing, and don't focus on the things that you have to do. I know you have to think about that, but really give it to yourself that you're doing, even if it's just one little thing, like taking your exercise class, making sure you have time and just
things I enjoy many things during the day.
Yeah, and so tell me about those things, because I want to hear them, and it can be intimate, and it also, it'll make you feel good. Like when you start talking about the other stuff, you just always sound so
oh God, I know,
angry and hurt, and oh God, you got the weight of the world, and when you say you want to take a nap, I don't blame you. Because I want to take a nap too, listening,
Yeah, it's important to focus on the positive. There are positive things in life, so it's better to focus on those.
Yes. I'm all for it. I will do that.
That's a very good idea. Because we can learn, We can learn to let go of bad habits and learn new, good ones. It's possible to change at any age.
And I think if you do that, you might find that you don't want to turn. I don't know. After a while,
I get satisfied. I don't
You won't turn the TV on or eat or all that sort of thing.
Right. And when times we were in Florida, there I didn't turn the TV on or didn't really want to. It was fine.
Yeah.
I like, accomplishing things and feeling good about what I've done. It's
a very good feeling. Very, very good feeling.
Yeah, so maybe the time to call me is before you're going, when you're at that witching hour, and just touch base then. And it's nice when you call me other times too, but that kind of sets me up, makes me feel good at the end of the day to,
And you know what, Franny? When you talk to Greg, you can tell him what you accomplished about your losing weight. Telling him, for example, I walked or I cycled or whatever. I wanted to eat that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So if you know during the day that you have that goal, when you call him, it'll keep you focused on losing weight.
Okay. Does that seem okay with you, Greg? Are you looking forward to that? Okay. That's
That's a good idea. Okay. Anything else about your separation?
Well, I think it's just a level of talking. If we're right there and we're focused on each other as well as what we're doing. And you know, even if I'm out shopping, I'm just popping out shopping a little ways away and coming back to the house. But here, I'm on my own the whole time, and I just get out of touch.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a separate life to some extent. And so,
yeah, sure, it is.
When I get back together, it's like, oh, I got all that stuff to let go of or to forget about, and switch over to talking to you, Franny. And that's what you see, you know, other people do well. It's a good thing to learn how to do, you know, to switch.
Yeah, because you've been the type, you know, Greg's been the type of guy, Marcel, like when he went away, like to visit his parents or something, he never phoned ever. I mean, like he just, out of sight, out of mind. He's, it's like.
And my parents would say, you know, someone called our house and say, "Where's Greg?" "Oh, we don't know. He doesn't call. He doesn't write." Out of sight, out of mind. That's what I just didn't keep in touch with people. I was more involved with what I'm doing right here in the moment. So.
Do you think it's important to keep in touch with people?
Yeah. To have a relationship, you have to keep in touch. You really have to.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I want you to test when you said goodbye to each other, you traumatize yourself.
No.
No.
Okay, good. That's very good. Very good. I think you've made a lot of progress during this last visit.
I think when we're together, we key out because we have a support with each other and the way we live, and Bayard being there, and that there's a support around each of us that we don't have when we're not. And therefore, there's other stuff around that I can't put a lot of energy into. I can put energy into it, but I can't get my sustenance from the other stuff. It's not my support system. I have to not just deal with that. I just have to put positive energy into my support. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just trying, you know.
I guess I'm not sure what you mean because it sounds kind of vague. Like I don't know exactly what you mean. I'm sorry. Could you just explain a little bit more, like what you mean?
I have to not talk about the crap during the day. I have to talk about what's good about being with you. Or I have to, again, when we're on the phone, we have to be together and find the connection on the phone and not talk about crap unless it's clearing it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel out of sorts even talking right now. It's like I'm in some sort of state right now.
Yeah.
Can you describe it? Can you talk about that a bit, Greg?
Yeah.
How do you exactly feel? Share with us.
I don't know what the feeling is. I feel solitary and on my own, and I don't really have a bad feeling now. It's just I feel okay. I think it's that I want to have more connection. I want to have connection, so I'm looking around what to connect to.
How about connecting to trannies?
Yeah, so what I get is I have to just, even, and I do that at times during the day, but, she's not here.
Of course.
And, I don't have my mother and father. My brother, I can connect to my brother. I have to really just connect and not do the things I do when I'm around my brother, which really kind of look after him, take care of him. The last time I talked to him on the phone, it was okay. I didn't really want anything from him. I wasn't trying to do anything. I felt a connection there. But I think we don't really have a strong working relationship that is supportive.
Well, I think for you, you need, well, it's unfortunate because we're distanced, but I think that you need the physicality not because you're good at it, but because that is what is good for you.
Yes.
And that you blossom when you're here, and now you're just back to, there you are.
But the thing is, physicality on its own is not, I like being physical. I like, and I need to exercise. That helps me get, good feelings and all. But I didn't exercise much at all in Florida. Otherwise, I swam back and forth across. I did multiple laps of our pool, which is only about 10, 12 meters long. Anyway, no, it's more than that, I guess. Anyway, but so it's just a little bit of that, but it was my whole.
But you started running. You did yoga. You started running. Remember?
I ran 3 times a little bit, and see, I can do that here. But it was more of how I was and the choices I was making, and the physicality was part of that. And I didn't lose weight because of the physicality. I started losing weight immediately just by connecting. And see, that's what I was saying. It's the support. It's something that I was doing, or that I had, that was not just physical exercise. And of course it was eating, it was sleeping, all these things together. Definitely the running helped and so forth.
But in a different environment.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm saying here, but...
No, I understand what you're saying.
I understand, but
I'll tell you what I think. I think that when you were in Florida, you took something, right? Because you were with Franny and Greg.
I took
something. So you were given things.
We were giving you a lot of attention.
Oh, yeah, you were, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And I think that now that you are back, you can give yourself to others.
Yeah.
For example, you can take a walk to the park and meet people and start chatting and maybe talking to them, doing the outline with them.
Yeah.
Things like that. And that will make you very satisfied.
It does, and I do that during the day. I talk to various people. I'm always very...
But there's... Okay, so I'm hearing hesitation, so there's some aversion to... is it aversion to being supported? Or is it aversion to supporting yourself? Like, what exactly is that?
Yeah.
That you had to go out and try and get attention. Like, that's what you were doing. You were going to get attention.
Uh-huh.
So, do you have trouble supporting yourself?
Yeah, I think I have trouble supporting myself, generating myself for myself. and just being on my own. I know what that is. I do it. I have done it. I was doing it at first when I got back, and I do it more now than I was before I left.
Right.
So it's just that's the thing not to do the other thing and look for it outside, but to support myself and create it for myself and then create it with other people for real. So that means keep creating it with you. Desi invited me out for some musical thing tonight.
Right.
She had some tickets, so I said okay, because Desi's a good person, and she,
why not?
She
it's
knows,
good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's very good. I think I understand very well what you are going through, because I was used to having my husband around, and then he died, and I noticed that I started doing a lot of things in the house, cleaning all over, because I had to be very active. That made me feel good. And I did it listening to loud rock music. And that meatloaf, really. And that made me feel good. And it was a great help to get over the loss of my husband. And of course immunics was the main thing I did. And but I understand what you're talking about. I know what it means feeling alone. You have to create new habits. And you have to love yourself. That's very important, because I remember years ago, I was much younger. My husband didn't come home for lunch. He stayed at the office, and I used to eat a sandwich leaning on the kitchen sink so that the crumbs didn't go on the floor. Okay? Yes, because oh my God, I have just cleaned everything. Now I prepare for myself very well. I cook for myself. Roberto used to cook for me. I started cooking immediately. The first day I started cooking for myself, and I decided to take care of myself and doing nice things that I like. Yeah. And that's important.
Yeah.
And another thing, get a cat.
Well, I would, but not here. I have a room the size of the room you're sitting in, or less. I mean, if you're Florida, there was a dog, a cute little dog someone was giving away, and I thought that'd be great, but I have a cat. I indoor cat, and a cat could love it here, but could do that.
I don't think they used to start.
I'm not going to.
But see, that's where you run in, like when there's something inside of you that isn't satisfied with you. And I know I can recognize.
Yeah, I want to be more. I want to be more and do better.
Right.
I always have to do better, that's always been part of me.
That's something that you're torturing yourself with, and then what happens is that, like, well, I know Desi, and that doesn't bother me, but like, the other person, she was calling you to do things, and then, you just kind of fell into this thing.
Yeah, there's something, you can go do this and do this.
But that had strings attached, So.
That's right.
People want things.
So, Franny, how do you feel about Greg going to the musical with this Daisy?
Oh, I feel okay about Desi. I know Desi. She's fine.
And she knows Franny well, and she knows that we're together.
Okay, good.
That was not their kind. She's more of a friend than anything.
Actually, very good friend, and we sometimes get together and just talk. We used to do a lot because she started working here the same time that I moved in to help my father. Actually, she was here a month earlier. So we've been doing many things together. I've seen her daughter grow up. Her daughter's now driving. I met her daughter when she was 8, and now she's driving, and she's going to finish high school soon. And, but it's really good to have someone you can just say things with and who will just understand.
Nice. That's
she
nice.
also has a lot of the same experiences in terms of performing and and seeing people. She started to do immunics. She does immunics in her own way. In her own way. She doesn't like test quite the same way. She likes to kind of, sometimes she doesn't want to talk about it.
She helped us with one of our meetings that we had that people came to, because you can use rooms there, at the Oak Park Arms, and we did it at the library. Well, we had a room at the library for free. But there was a period of time where, I think Desi, Greg was someone she might have been interested in, and then,
right.
But also, I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, that at one point she got very angry at Greg, and she didn't speak to him for a while, and she told him he hated women.
She's told me that?
That was what you said, that she said that you were a, what's the word for
misogynist?
Misogynist, yeah. Which is,
I don't remember her saying that, but she may have, and
you told me that at the time, and that I said, well, why is she so angry at you? And I don't know, maybe she saw you with somebody else. I just don't know, it's hard to say, but she was angry at you for, even though you started the course together, I think she was, well, here we are talking about somebody else, but I think she was angry at you, but you were being kind of pushy, and like, she likes to be in, like that, she kind of took the chorus over, and that was kind of her thing, and...
Oh, yeah. She was her chorus, yeah, I thought...
Yeah, and she didn't like being, if you're leading something, it's very hard when somebody is trying to rip you or counteract what you're saying, even if it's inconsistent. And I completely agreed with her, that basically it's better not to, it's okay to suggest that she made a mistake, but then to argue with her is going too far, And you tend to be rather argumentative, and Desi well enough that like you're argumentative with me. Like I think I'm saying something, and then you start like, I think, well, why is he arguing with me about someone important, And then but you want me to hear what you have to say, and I guess that's important to you. So she didn't.
Yeah, I can see that. I see my brother doing it, so it's easier to see it in someone else. But I do. It's like, no, it has to be this way. But it's more like I have to figure it out in my mind, because I was, it was a reaction I did often when I was young. I had to really know what was going on and figure it out in my own mind. And I didn't feel comfortable just not knowing and learning openly, openly doing things with others. I had to do them in my own way, myself, and with other people around, but I was like a solitary person with others.
Yeah. So I mean, there was
kind of separate.
Yeah, and
disconnected.
That's right, but you do tend to sort of like, you want to say things that you think are right, which sometimes are off the topic completely. Like I don't know where they're coming from. But what Desi wanted you, even if you suggested something, is she didn't want you to argue with her in front of everybody. And everybody's looking at me, and I said, well, he's on his own. I mean, it's like, so I actually said that to the people next to me, because they were all looking at me. We were in chorus practice, and I said, Greg's on his own. Because they were having this little tussle.
Can you test if you're still disconnected from other people?
I still disconnected?
You mean right here, right now?
Sure.
Yes?
Can you remove it? Kirsty, you can remove it.
Remove disconnection. That's interesting.
Yes, a tester can.
Okay, do it.
Oh, I have to apologize for harping on stuff. Sorry. On your, like, pointing out all your failures. It's terrible.
Well, it's one thing to say, another thing go over and over and over again.
I apologize, Greg.
Examples.
I apologize.
It's more about you just talking and talking and talking than about me.
That's
It's
true.
that
That's true, and I apologize.
So my
So you're still disconnected?
I don't know now because I went off into that other thing.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to just connect on things like correcting each other. You know, I've had many years of that with you and many other people in an organization where we just corrected each other all the time. And I think that I got sick doing that.
Are you sick right now from it?
I also got strong and learned a lot from that. I believe, yes, I had damage from that.
Are you damaged right now?
Do I have damage right now? I'm working on the disconnection thing. So do I have damage, pardon me, right now? Sure, I have damage.
Is that making it hard for you to become less disconnected? Sorry, Rosella.
Yes. When I was just removing the disconnection, I was actually working on things that were in the way of me being connected.
Uh-huh.
And
what are those things?
that was one of them. That I that it had been rewarding to be disconnected, to have a distance from people.
Why?
As a protection.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a distance, it's a distance, but I never really saw it as a distance. I saw it as just a way of being.
Does the distance allow you to be not hurt, to avoid being hurt by other people?
Sure.
Okay.
It's not the only thing, but that's, one negative that I could avoidance of that. This is all rather mental right now to me.
Test if you have disturbances in your mental body.
Yes, I have disturbance in my emotional body. I have disturbance. This is what not sleeping enough does also.
Okay.
To this point where it's just, I don't function well.
Right.
Okay. Remove disturbances.
See, that's where I just want to hide because I don't, it's like remove disturbances. I'm removing disturbances from all my body. Removing disturbances from all my body. I have removed disturbances.
Good.
All my bodies are free of disturbances.
Check again the mental and the emotional.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do I have any disturbances in my mental body? Yes, and I'm removing them.
Okay?
Removing disturbances in my mental body. I'm removing disturbances from my mental body. I remove some things from my mental body. I know I feel different.
How do you feel different?
Yawn.
Yawning. Very good.
My yawning.
It's a good sign. Any other difference? I don't have any disturbances in my emotional body. Do I have any mental body? Is my mental body free of disturbances? Yes. My mental body free of disturbances? Yes. Do I have any disturbances in any of my bodies? My mental body, emotional body are free of disturbances. Any other body? All my bodies are free of disturbances. Yes. Okay. Did the disturbances damage your mental and emotional bodies?
Well, they were in the way of actually being sound and healthy mentally and emotionally. So they damaged them at the time, do I still have damage from them? I get that they're gone. I get there's... I don't know if I'm... I get that there's still something there, and it's still wanting to see, wanting to know. Wanting to see and wanting to know.
What is something? What is that something? Test if you are under attack.
Like under attack?
Well, under assault, really.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which bodies are under assault? Mental and emotional?
Mental bodies under is
Yes.
under attack.
Who by?
I'm testing any other bodies.
Okay.
I don't. Well, it's physical also. It's not just my mental body, but it's physically to my body, which is like my head. To me, I keep coming back to falling from the tree when I was 7.
Okay. Let's go back then and let's remove the trauma. First of all.
Let's test if there's any trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any trauma about falling from the tree when I was 7? Yes, and it's mental and physical. It's just that my head hurts.
Mm.
Uh-huh. So
Did you knock your head when you fell?
Oh yes, I fell from a tree about 40 feet.
Wow.
And I hit my head on a branch on the way down. I was knocked unconscious.
and he knocked his teeth out in the front.
Knocked the only 2 permanent teeth I had in my mouth. I knocked them out completely. Nothing was left of them. They did not break. They just were gone.
My
No one ever
God.
found them. People went to look for them. My friends went to look for my teeth.
You were with other children?
I had been with other children, my brother and some other kids, 2, 3 other kids at the time. And I'm sure I may have told you this, some friend who knows the story. They were running away. My brother had tied my pack up in the tree in order to get rid of me. In order to you know, that he didn't want me around. Maybe he was jealous, or he just, you know, it was very clear at the time, and I'd never seen it so blatantly. And I was definitely in a trauma at the time too, on that day. And it's kind of like today in that I don't know whether I'm coming or I know where I'm coming or going. I know what's going on, but I'm sort of. It's like I didn't have full control and connection with the others. But I had been up this tree numerous times. I was a very good tree climber. There was a smaller tree you have to climb up and transfer over to the bigger tree because there are no branches on the bigger tree. And so I was hurrying on the way down, and they were all leaving. They were off in the distance going down a hill in the woods. And kind of wooded area, and instead of just taking my time, which I was usually very good about, I was just very focused. I, climb trees and climb rocks and go mountain climbing, and didn't really have any fear of heights. But I just was hurrying, and I was kind of had my attention on just getting there quickly rather than taking my time to get the right branch and do the right thing.
Because the other children were running away.
Yeah, because of that, but it was just the state that I went into there where I just kind of was already over there rather than right here.
Okay.
Tending to what I had to tend to.
You were connected with those children running away?
I was over there with the children. I was not present totally with what I was doing. And normally, talking about focus, normally, especially at that time, I was very focused about anything that I did. I was very focused. And Franny, the behavior I go into where I swear and so forth like that, it's that I don't feel focused and connected to the thing at hand.
Right.
And I used to be incredible like that. Unbelievable that I could focus for hours. And, the instances like that where people say, they were just amazed at my focus. I mean, I'd be performing a piece, some dance pieces. It's not other stories, but...
Right.
I mean, I'll tell you, I once performed this Twyla Tharp solo, and I spent the summer with her, and at the beginning of the concert, I came out downstage, solo, and started moving. And I was there the whole time for 2 hours, while people came and went behind me. Groups came off, and duets and groups, and moved on and off, and the music changed, and I was still doing my thing. So I started before everyone else, and I finished after everyone else. And people were leaving the theater, and I still had not completed. But some people stayed around to watch me finish. And Twyla said that was the best any student had ever done that. And I don't know if it's, people in her company, it's probably the longest anyone ever done it too.
It's interesting that you did that solo.
Solo, yeah, I do think solo.
Yeah.
But that's why it was great when I was dancing with a group or working with a group or in a meeting where I'm connected and I don't have to be perfect. I can just be myself.
Sure.
And I don't have to appear to be great. So it doesn't matter if I'm great or not.
Yeah, you just have to be yourself.
Well, yeah, and it's, I can say that, but then again, there was this thing in me that I would, if I were in some group, I wanted to excel. I wanted to be noticed. Just like, probably my brother wanted to be noticed. But I wanted to be noticed, and that, my parents, it's something even before this lifetime that, it's kind of, I don't know, just...
Well, okay, let's take one step at a time.
I'm just going here and I'm...
Your feeling disconnected from people is connected to that trauma when you fell off the tree?
Is it? It can be. I mean...
Test.
Yeah.
Yes, in this case, what I'm talking... The one I'm talking about is the one where I said it was in my mental body and in my physical body, in my head actually. You know.
Is it because you were connected to the other children instead of being focused of coming down the tree? And so you decided that being connected to others is dangerous? Test.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you clear that?
Yeah.
Test if you can be focused and connected to others at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you feel a difference?
Yes.
Can you tell us about the difference?
You know, I'm not struggling to do two things at once.
Good.
So I feel that's,
Okay.
you know.
Do you need to forgive your brother and those children?
I never thought it before. I never tested before. I do now. Yes.
Okay. Can you do it?
I mean, I thought I had forgiven my brother for all sorts of things, but I think what happens, what was we were talking about before, last week about making considerations or something like that. What was it? I mean,
Compensations?
compensations. I compensated for my brother. I did things that were just treating my brother differently, saying, oh, he's this way. It's like the poor guy, I have to treat him this way.
Okay. Okay. Do you still feel the same?
Friend, you know, like the guy Mike in the building.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was doing that with him sometimes, but I try not to.
Yeah.
I just say, well, it's just the way he is.
Right.
So I'm going to, you know, I change myself and I act a little bit differently. But so, forgiving my brother, forgiving the other kids for abandoning me.
Mm-hmm.
My brother seemed like he was attacking me, and I think he recognized that he was outwardly attacking me because he was so distraught afterwards.
Did you traumatize your brother as well when he fell off the tree?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay. So can you forgive him and the other kids?
Yes.
Good. Link your higher bodies with theirs, your brothers
Yes.
and the other kids.
Yes.
Do you feel different?
Yes, very sad.
Okay. Remove sadness from your lungs.
Well, I did have grief in my lungs, but sadness was really in my head.
Okay, so remove sadness from your head and grief from your lungs.
Grief
is very
really
important.
from my father.
Okay.
That's, just watching him dying and over time. And
I know, it's tough.
but the sadness was actually I removed the sadness. The sadness was a feeling that came out. I was just having feelings, not necessarily having them, but not necessarily attached to them.
Okay.
That as I was, that forgiveness. Okay.
Have you also removed grief?
Well, that's a sort of a different area that we weren't even talking about. But since
Anyway, remove it, Greg.
it's with the lungs, probably because you learned that somewhere, but it was not necessarily in my lungs at the time. But now, do I have grief? My grief. I'm in grief for my life. I'm in grief. My father does not seem to be grieving at all.
Okay.
He's just very present, connected with what's going on.
Okay. He's probably ready and accepting.
Yeah, but he has dementia. Sometimes it goes a little crazy with that.
Okay. Oh, good, you yawn. I love that.
For you.
Oh, thank you. You made my day.
So, where are we now?
How do you feel now?
You look tired.
Very tired. Very tired.
Very tired, yes. You worked a lot. Testing you need to
up late. I've had bad habits. Since I've been here, I've been staying up too late.
Okay.
I felt great the day I came home. I was unpacking and I was staying up late. I wasn't really watching television or anything. But since then, it's just been, again, the same bad habits we talked about when we started.
You can change it.
I'm going to change it. I can change it. I've already installed this morning that everything is off. Computer,
Good.
phones, TV, etc., videos off by at latest midnight. And
Good.
I'm going to change that earlier. I'm going to make it like 11:30 or 11 even.
Yeah. Make a step each time, you know?
Yes.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
And so, do you feel complete? Do you feel you need to install something, to know something, to remove more, to access something?
I need to install this thread always, this connection with staying connected to reality.
Good.
And so I don't sink back and get switched. It was
Okay.
really being switched.
Okay. How often do you say your wants?
My wants?
Yeah. To unswitch.
Oh. Many times during the day, I'm always clearing things.
But saying you want specifically, I want.
Yeah, but this is
this and that and
beyond the when I'm driving along and I'm thinking and I'm doing things, but I really have to have the focus that I'm talking about, the real connection with me, the focus on what I want. I mean, that's one thing. Okay, I don't have to belabor that.
Okay. Do you feel complete?
Yeah, I feel complete. I mean, I'm just in a state here.
What state is that?
Illinois.
Very cute. I'm in Riverview, but Florida. Well, you don't see.
If you don't feel complete, we can stay here until midnight.
Just say what's different about you, even if you're tired.
I'm just tired.
Okay.
Tired.
But did you get any change in your energy or anything like that, and how you feel that would be important to you right now?
Yeah, I feel more focused and calmer, and my mind's not going all over the place.
That's good.
I'm acknowledging the way I am right now.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm just being. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
Hey, lover.
Hey, lover boy. And how do you call your lover boy?
Yes, lover boy.
I say, come here, lover boy.
Come here, lover boy.
Is it dirty dancing?
Yes.
That's very good.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
That was a movie Fran and I saw originally together a long time ago, and
that movie really changed my relationship with you. I don't know, before that I didn't really realize it. I don't know, something inside me changed, and it was kind of funny their name was Frances. I thought that was really sort of strange. Everybody called her Bunny or something. Baby, they called her baby.
Nobody's put baby in the corner.
Never. Never, ever.
But I don't know, I switched over to really feeling like I wanted my relationship with you after seeing that movie,
Aw. Because I was like Patrick Swayze, right?
That poor man, he died.
Yeah, he was kind of separate, sexy, and I don't know, dangerous, everything.
He was very good. He was a very good actor.
But he had feelings, and he was very sweet.
He was a good actor. I mean, he became a good actor. I didn't think at first, but he was a good actor. And of course, he had a background in dance. His parents had a dance studio, and he
he danced very well.
Yeah.
He danced very well too.
Yeah, his mother has a school, and his sister, I think.
We saw him. He has a video when he was a kid, or sometime, for her dance school. They're showing dances.
Yes.
It's difficult because he's quite tall, and it's more difficult for a tall person to dance.
Yeah, I didn't think he was terribly tall.
No? It is tall in the movies.
Well, it's all relative because he's with a short girl.
Yes, that's right. She's quite short. Okay, Franny, we put mostly the attention on Greg today, but do you want to say to remove, to install, to know something
He was
Or do you
5'10".
feel
He was 5'10".
5'10"? You're talking in feet?
5 feet 10 inches, 1.78 meters.
Okay, 178. Well,
Yes.
that's tall.
Yeah.
That's tall.
But
Come on.
I'm 6 feet tall, so.
Yeah, Greg
You're
really
tall?
Greg
There's
towers, you know. He when he walks in the kitchen, the ceiling's lower, he looks enormous, you know.
Yeah?
It's just everybody's used to, I mean, I would be on stage with much smaller people and they'd say, God, you're huge, you're a monster. And then I get on stage, I'm just kind of normal size.
Well, I'm sorry, I always
Did you find it difficult to dance? More difficult than other people, than shorter people?
Well, when I was very short, I danced much better. But I was only one size, so I don't know how I didn't.
Don't worry, you'll get shorter as you age, you know. My father has shrunken probably about 6 inches.
Yeah, they're usually dancers are smaller and more wiry and thin and light. And
well, I like the fact that you're taller. I always really loved that you were taller than me because when I was younger, I was like always put in the back row of the school pictures because I was already 5'7", and then the guys grew up a little bit, but not every guy. And it was great that Greg was so tall, you know, and he still is. It feels good. I like that about you.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as do I need to install anything? Well, I'm installing the ability to lose more weight.
Okay,
Just keep
good.
installing that, and I'm installing the ability to be sexual.
Okay.
Especially when I'm around Greg, and feel really good about myself. I'm installing the feeling really great about myself, and
Good. That's a good one.
yeah, I have been feeling pretty good about myself. I don't want to get into it now, but I noticed that the last Sunday before Greg left, and then he went and fasted all week. So that kind of changed the whole energy of what we were doing together, and he started doing projects around the house. And I just enjoyed the first 2 weeks because it was like we just spent time together and talked and did things, and it was really close. But I think there's still something in me that still clicks on where regardless of how good I feel about myself, I still don't take enough for myself. Like Greg was talking about compensating, and I wrote a note that I just looked at where I always work like to see that the other person has what they need and not so much me. And I think during the first 2 weeks, I was having fun and I took things for myself, but then when I realized I had to take more, that became rather difficult. Like, suddenly I came up against a wall, there.
Okay.
So, we could talk about it next time. I'll make a note about it.
Yes, please do, because then I know I'm going to forget.
Yeah, okay, I'll make a note.
I have to install good memory. I'm installing good memory. Okay. When I see you guys together, Wednesday is okay?
Next Wednesday is the 20th.
Wednesday is good, but it has to be at 6 o'clock. I cannot make. I arrived today 5 minutes before the hour.
Do you want to make it on Thursday?
Greg said that was tougher because his class is on Thursday and he needs
Thursday night
time to prepare for his class during the day.
It might be good for me to have a class. See, on Friday, I would like to be able to go to my yoga class in the morning. If we have a session together, I can't go to that class.
No, okay.
I could do, if we're going to have a session together, that I would do it on Thursday with you, personally. And then Friday we have our meeting, our cure team meeting. No, so I know that's a lot for you. We've got the topic course, the topic thing on Tuesday, and then you got get Franny also on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the both of us together on Wednesday, and me separately on Thursday.
Well, we could do, instead of Tuesday, Marcel, if you want to do both of us on Thursday, I could do that earlier than Greg, because I don't have an exercise class in the morning. So I don't know if he was talking about switching his appointment to Thursday at what, 12?
Instead of Tuesday.
Yeah, just do one right after the other.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So Thursday would be me at 11.
Okay, let me write it down. Thursday, Franny at 5 p.m. for me.
Right.
11. Yeah, 5 p.m.
And then Greg would be after that.
Okay. And Greg, will it be okay for you at 6 o'clock on Thursday? Okay.
6 o'clock.
And Greg plus Franny at 6. That's perfect.
That's good, because then I've got my other yoga class, which I've been missing for a long time.
Okay. And is it okay for you, before the meeting on Friday, Greg, your solo session?
No, that's what we're talking about on Thursday.
Would be the solos.
It would be
one for me, one for Greg.
on Thursday, Franny first at 5 o'clock and me second at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, I misunderstood. I thought at 6 o'clock it was the two of you together.
So we still haven't. So we still haven't figured out a time for a joint session, though.
Well, we were talking about Wednesday at the same time.
Okay.
Today at 6 o'clock.
Okay, and Wednesday, the usual Wednesday at 6. Yes. Greg and Franny at 6.
Okay, so that's 12 our time.
Yes, and it's 12 for you. 6 p.m.
Okay.
So no more session before the meeting on Friday. Okay. I have everything here.
Okay, I wrote it all down. So it's on the 25th. It will be the two of us at 12, and on the 26th it'll be me at 11 and Greg at noon, and there'll be no Tuesday or Friday.
Okay.
That frees up a couple of things for you too. So.
Yes, I will put it on my planner as well, so I'm sure. Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, well thank you very much. Thanks, great.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Both of you for bearing with me.
This is the Cure Drive Cult homepage. You can see we tally our cures. That's the tally there, 132,000. You report your cures here, right here. That's the link to report your cure. Okay, this is the movie that people start with generally. And there's a lot of people actually curing things on camera in this movie and demonstrating exactly how to do it. It's 4.5 hours. So you would be able to probably understand and know what these people are doing by watching this. We are a cult because we're all over the world. Maybe one person in a town, just one little guy who cures things in a whole town full of people who don't. Whose spouse thinks she's crazy because she's curing things and he doesn't. She doesn't get sick and he's down with the flu for 5 days and he still thinks she's crazy. We've had spouses die. So this person is demonstrating curing herpes in this movie, the one you're watching right there. And it goes on like that. Now, these are the people here. You see this black area here? This is our Twitter feed. These are the people you want to talk to. And what you do, see, it says follow Cure Drive. And that's what you do. You click on that, and then you pick somebody. Anybody in here will be happy to help you. So you write to people that you see in here. And there's all these people all talking about what they're curing. So that's what you do. You pick somebody that that seems like a kindred spirit, presumably, and you write to them. See that picture of the cat there? That's Rosella. She's one of the people whose spouse died. He was a very great guy. He just thought it was nuts. Never did it. Died of cancer. Not too long ago, about 2 months ago. So anyway, you just, you write to somebody and, tell them what you are trying to do. People are always asking about negative medical tests. Here, let me show you. This is a voicemail message. You should probably, if you're interested in getting a negative medical test on, let's say, herpes, she got negative medical tests and both kinds of herpes. And she left me this message when she got her letter from the, hospital, I guess. She was in New Zealand. So her tests are free. Now, of course, there's an enormous website behind this homepage. I guess you're probably guessing, right? And if you see these movies, these are all people demonstrating curing various diseases. These people chose to contribute their cures to your effort to cure yourself. There are around, I guess, over 800 movies, and some of them are linked to this page. So if you click on any one of these pictures, it will go to a movie, and that movie will start playing. So join the cult. Your friends will be worried about you. You're in a cult, they'll be worried. You have the crazy idea that you can cure medically incurable diseases. They're going to be very concerned. Especially if you're battling cancer. Your friends will be worried, and that's a good thing. You will cure things. And that is also a very good thing. You will begin curing things the moment you join, because that's how you join. You cure something. When you cure something, you're in the cult. If you want to get out of the cult, just stop curing things. You won't be in the cult anymore. Easy to exit. Your easy exit strategy. And who knows? You may even cure the medically incurable disease that you came in here to cure. A lot of us did. That's me there in the movie holding forth on how to cure things. I'm on the cure team. That's what I did. I cured a medically incurable disease. Two of them, actually. So I cured 2 kinds of herpes. It was about 4 months after I started doing this that I actually discovered, I'm the person who discovered that you could cure physical diseases. July 1993, my 20th anniversary just passed. I haven't had an outbreak of herpes for 20 years, and before that, I was having outbreaks for 28 years. I got herpes in 1965. The end of the year. 28 years of outbreaks followed by 20 years of no outbreaks. That's how bad it can be and how good it can be if you let it be good. So, take the courageous step that almost everyone you know will advise you not to take. Join the cult. When you're in the cult, your friends will get sick and you will get well. Your friends will give sympathy and you will give cure. And you'll know that you don't even need to take a vitamin pill to cure something. You can just cure it with nothing. Just with you. What can you contribute? What will your contribution be? This woman is curing a flu right on camera. She came in with full symptoms and they were all gone in 15 minutes. You can see it happen. Flu is an incurable viral-based disease. It's medically incurable. She cures it right in front of you. We eagerly await your contribution. And here they are, eagerly awaiting your contribution. And anything that you say to any of these people will probably be a contribution of some kind.